Satya Skills. In this video, let us learn about lease finance. It is an important topic. Lease financing is an asset based finance method introduced as an alternative low cost finance in the corporate sector. This is widely used in USA and Europe. USA has the largest leasing business in the world. Now, let us look into what is lease finance. Lease is a method of financing projects. Leasing facilitates the entrepreneur to utilize an asset or a machinery without purchasing it. This ensures availability of assets without owning it. It is like using an asset by paying rent to the owner of the asset. It reduces the burden of investment on the entrepreneurs or the manufacturers. Thus, it is an alternate to debt financing. Lease can be defined in the following way. Lease is a contract between the owner of an asset and the user of it for a period of time for which the user pays consideration to the owner and owner allows the user to use it. Lease can be defined as a special type of transaction in which two persons enter into an agreement where one person, lessor, agrees to provide equipment for use to the other person called lessee over a period of time, and lessee agrees to pay consideration for the use of asset. Consideration is rent. Advantages of lease financing. Lease financing offers the following advantages. The lease finance technique or the method, it has several advantages. Some prominent are no burden of investment. In this case, capital will be blocked if assets are purchased by the user. This is one of the major problems of corporate sector. Lease finance facilitates the user to obtain assets without any investment, especially the assets that require huge initial investments such as cargoes, big trucks, earth movers, aircrafts, etc. Second one, additional source of finance. Leasing is not a loan, but it is a substitute to term loans. The firms enjoy additional financial supply as they need not borrow and purchase assets. Thus, without availing any loan facility, firms can enjoy the benefits of financial support. And in this case, borrowing capacity is not affected. It will not also change. They can borrow as usually according to the limits sanctioned by the financiers. Funds can be diverted. Lease financing facilitates the firms to expand business without any special efforts because the firm can divert the funds for further investments which otherwise would have been blocked in acquiring assets. Leasing indirectly contributes towards business expansion. Simple to acquire big asset. Lease is a simple way of getting bigger assets. Otherwise, the lessee has to apply for a term loan, undergo a big process. Through lease, a lot of time and energy of lessee is saved and he can concentrate on his core business. Off-balance sheet transaction. Lease is an off-balance transaction. To that extent, it benefits the lessee firm. Therefore, it does not affect the debt equity ratio of lessee. This is the most important one. You all know what is debt equity. Otherwise, I will make another video on ratio analysis, then you will understand it very clearly. Then, this is a convenient method for short period. If an asset is needed for a short period, leasing is the best method. In the absence of lease facility, time of the lessee will be wasted buying and reselling such assets and its loss also. If the asset is not a common product, it is difficult to sell also. Thus, leasing is the most convenient method for short duration. Shifting risk of obsolescence. You know that some assets frequently updated and with latest technology or some changes. So, it becomes outdated. Example, computers. So, sometimes unexpected developments in the technology may make an asset useless. With the leasing facility, firm can avoid such risk. Another best example is camera. So, see, usually they are very expensive, but they become obsolete very quickly, and our mobile phones. All these are the best examples. No burden of maintenance and other expenses. Some assets are not in continuous use, but owner has to pay several charges to maintain assets to keep it in working conditions. All types of vehicles, trucks, all they require it. This is additional burden to the owner. Then of course other side of the coin, there are some disadvantages and limitations, like leasing is not suitable to finance all kinds of projects. Under some types of lease contracts, lessee cannot terminate the lease contract. Sometimes lessee pays the rent which exceeds the cost of assets. There is no standard for transfer of price assets. Cost of interest in lease financing is sometimes very high. For some assets, maintenance and other charges become heavy burden. When asset has more residual value, lessee loses claim on the residual value of the assets. That's all.